Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We appreciate all of you joining us this morning over at woodwardsports.com. Jeff Iafrate, Adam, Beydoun, Fisher. What up, Fish?
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Hello, buddy.
It's good. Great.
Having a good morning so far?
Did you watch Champions League yesterday?
I did not.
Oh my God! Just straight fire.
I saw you were getting tagged in some things on Twitter talking about it.
There's nothing better than it. 2 hours of greatness. March Madness doesn't even top that. Just
Wow.
2 hours, sit on your couch, 6 games, Goal City, Drama City,
Well, did you
red
enjoy your
cards,
time?
yellow cards, green cards, blue
Did
cards.
you enjoy your time, Fish?
Yes.
That's all I care
It's the best
about.
2 hours of the day.
I don't care if I have no idea what you're talking about.
Why didn't you
As long as you have a great time.
just take 2 hours out of your busy day? That's it. Even 30 minutes, 10
Fish,
minutes,
I don't have 10 minutes
15
for
minutes.
my wife.
Yeah.
2
hours
hours for Champions League soccer. Fish, shut up. All right, it's early.
You better do
don't
it for
wanna
World
start
Cup,
this
though.
early. Trying to be nice today.
Hey, you better do it for World Cup. You can do it for World Cup?
Yeah. All right, look.
Okay, thanks for talking.
Oh, I did not want to have to wait till this morning, but we had to, of course. Hi, Jeff.
How's it going?
It's going, man. It's going well. Can't complain. We got a jam-packed show today. The phone lines will be open all morning long. 313-552-6322. Alex, if you don't mind, pin it at the top of the Woodward Sports chat. You can call in about the Pistons' loss last night, or maybe, just maybe, you came across in your timeline or your news feed about Sheila Ford Hamp's comments
That was interesting.
on the current state of affairs for the Detroit Lions. Confidence in the regime, confidence in the front office, the coaching, saying it was a complete teardown and we're building it the right way from the ground up. Be patient, Detroit. That's the message
Be
this
patient.
morning. That's the conversation we're going to have the whole day. Be patient, Detroit. Be patient. You know, I sympathize a little bit with Sheila, actually, this morning. Because if she comes out and says anything, it likely isn't good enough.
Right.
And if she comes out and says nothing, then she's never available to the public.
It's damned if you do,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't in this situation. Having said that, why would Sheila Ford Hamp come out and clarify all of this right now? Is it because they are 1-5? Because I don't think she's making public comments if they're 3-3. I don't think she's making public comments about the rebuild, the teardown, the belief if they're 4-2. So what is it this morning? Be patient, Detroit. Jeff, you need to be patient. I don't care about other situations going on in the NFL. Our situation is so different. In an NFL that is designed mathematically by inception, it is so designed for you to not only be able to compete, but win your division every 3 years. That's how the NFL works. Be patient, Detroit. We all knew this was a complete teardown. It was always a rebuild. Okay. It's fine. Be patient. 65 years, one playoff win. Be patient. Last division title with Wayne Fonts in the 90s. Be patient. A franchise since the year 2000 that have hired names like Rod Marinelli, Marty Morningwig, Jim Schwartz, Matt Patricia, Jim Caldwell. All savants that will go down in the history of the NFL as some of the greatest coaches to ever coach in the NFL. Be patient. 12 years of a franchise quarterback for the first time since Bobby Lane 0 division titles, 0 playoff wins. 2 double-digit win seasons. Be patient. Ndamukong Suh, Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, arguably the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. Be patient. Barry Sanders, arguably the greatest running back in NFL history. Be patient. Be patient, Detroit.
Stafford was patient.
Be patient. Be patient.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know
What
Adam,
a word to use.
You're the only organization. I mean, that has to be patient. And it's not denying and she brought up the youth also, which I get because it's a fact. I mean, you're relying on a lot of rookies defensively, but I don't think that was the route to go.
Excuse me? Wait. What did she say about the team being young? Excuse me?
She said it's not an excuse, it's a fact.
It is a fact.
It is a fact.
It is a fact that the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles. Do I really have to pull this up right now? Like, you guys want to start with me this morning?
Well,
You want to know what other teams are? The 10 youngest teams in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Jaguars, the Giants, the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Panthers, the Eagles, and the Rams. Those are the 10 youngest teams in the NFL right now. That's not an excuse. That's a fact.
Oh. The one that stands out to me is the Falcons. I still can't get over that. I mean,
Sheila Ford Hamp,
Falcons had
again,
a complete teardown,
damned
too.
damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm not going to come out here and criticize her this morning. I'm actually not. In regards to coming out and publicly speaking. But when do you typically see owners that typically are not engaged, and when I say engaged, I mean they're not Jerry Jones every day available for media. When they come out, it's typically for one of two things. To discuss the overwhelming success or overwhelming failure that their current team is putting up. And your football team is 4-18-1 under this regime, under this head coach. Be patient. Be patient. I just gave you the 10 youngest teams in the NFL. You want to make excuses, some situations, 1, 2, 3. I'm only taking into account what she said. I could point out many flaws in me naming those teams. But she said it's not an excuse. It's a fact. This is a young team. The Giants, the Seahawks have 6 rookies starting this year.
They do.
6.
They do.
The Giants have 4. The Jets have 5.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons, 3 or 4 off the top of my head. Stop it. Please, don't tell this city to be patient in a league that punishes those who wait. In a league where every 2-3 years you should be able to win your division. Since the year 2000, you know how many divisions the Vikings have won? 7. They will win their 8th this season. That means almost every 2.2 years they're winning the division. The Vikings. The Bears that you laugh at, that I laugh at, that I make fun of, those same Bears have been to a Super Bowl in this millennium, have won multiple division titles, have been to the playoffs multiple times. You guys remember Matt Nagy? Bum of a coach, right? We made fun of Matt Nagy. Division winner.
Yeah, made fun of him for drafting Mitchell Trubisky.
Winning record with Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh.
Let me show you how this works, guys. And we're going to take callers all morning long to get your thoughts. But I'm going to read off this list for you. And we're going to go back all the way to 2007, 15 seasons ago. We are going to go over the last 15 years of coaching hires. And I'm going to walk you through every single year and how it's only 1, at most 2 coaches every year that work. And then we're going to compare it to Dan Campbell's coaching class. So shall we start? 2007, Mike Tomlin is named the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Other notable hires that failed: Bobby Petrino, Wade Phillips, Cameron, Lane Kiffin, Norv Turner. Failed. The only other success from that staff was Ken Wisenhunt, who led the Cardinals to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Didn't win it, but got to the Super Bowl. 2008, John Harbaugh, the only quality hire that year out of 4 hires. Jim Zorn, Tony Sparano, and Mike Smith, all failures. 2009, Rex Ryan, Jim Schwartz, Jim Caldwell. Caldwell got to a Super Bowl with that Colts team, so I can't knock him there. But Raheem Morris, Jim Mora, Mike Singletary, Steve Spagnuolo, Tom Cable, Todd Haley, Josh McDaniels, Eric Mangini, all failed. Next year, 2010, Pete Carroll was hired. The only other good hire was Washington, who hired Mike Shanahan, who had RG3. They made their run, and then it all flaked out. It was still a failure in the end, but he at least gave you one good season. 2011, Jim Harbaugh on the Niners. The only hire that worked out in 2011. 2012, Chuck Pagano, the only hire that worked out in 2012 out of the 7 coaches that were hired that year. 2013, Andy Reid and Bruce Arians, 2 out of the 8 head coaches hired that ended up working out. 2014, Mike Zimmer, Bill O'Brien, division winners, playoff winners. 2 out of the 7 coaches that worked in that hiring class. Gary Kubiak, Super Bowl winner with that Denver Broncos team. Rex Ryan and the Bills failed. Yeah. Todd Bowles and the Jets failed. Jack Del Rio and the Raiders failed. Tom Sula and the Niners failed. All of it failed. Dan Quinn, the only other one that had success, got his team to a Super Bowl. Doug Peterson, major success in 2016. Everybody else completely sucked. Adam Gase, Hugh Jackson, Chip Kelly, Dirk Cutter, Mike Malarkey, and Ben McAdoo. Remember Ben McAdoo? We made fun of Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, we did.
2017, the greatest coaching staff to come out in the last 20 years. Sean McVay, Sean McDermott, Kyle Shanahan. But that was 3 out of the 7 coaches that were hired that year. Mike Vrabel in 2018 with Matt Nagy, who was a winning coach, and that is it. Steve Wilkes, Matt Patricia, Frank Reich, Pat Schumer, John Gruden. All suck. It hasn't worked out. 2019, Bruce Arians with Tampa Bay. He gets the benefit of the doubt because of Tom Brady. But regardless, Matt LaFleur, Cliff Kingsbury, Zach Taylor, Brian Flores to an extent. There you go. Not bad. Not a bad list. Now we get into the fun stuff. 2020, 2021. Let's skip 2020. In Dan Campbell's hiring class, how many of those coaches have worked out? And I'll ask you, Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, it's working out.
Interesting. Brandon Staley? I'm on the fence about him.
Yeah, little shaky.
Robert Saleh?
So far, yes.
Showing progress. I wouldn't say he's worked out, but showing a lot of progress.
He's working out so far.
He's working out so far.
You can still change that.
Arthur Smith?
Yes, so far.
A lot of people are impressed with the job he's doing in Atlanta, given how young they are, how bad they are.
Complete teardown. They're still finding a way to win games.
Oh, a teardown? Excuse me, I didn't know that.
Yes. If you didn't
and then you have Urban Meyer, David Culley, and Dan Campbell, the 3 coaches that have won the fewest games between them among the rest of the coaches. Every year, there's 2 coaches at most, some years 3, special years, but 2 coaches at most that work out. If you had to bet your money on 2021, I would go Nick Sirianni and Robert Saleh, although I really want to give the nod to Arthur Smith. Nobody's talking about Dan Campbell working out in Detroit. And more coaching classes will go on, and next year there will be a batch, and the year after, and he'll still be here winning 4 games, and everything's okay. And we just have to be patient. Be patient. What an interesting comment to make. We'll go to the people in just a bit, but before we do, I got to tell you about where we broadcasted yesterday, and that was at Planet Fitness out on Ryan Road, Sterling Heights, Michigan. It was a blast. We gave away a signed Darren McCarty jersey, a signed Braylon Edwards jersey. It was so awesome to see. We got to see Neil working out. That was pretty cool. So sign up today, $0 down, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. We'll be right back to take your phone calls in just a bit.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, well, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient, Adam. Be patient.
It sounds, when you say that...
Dan Campbell's not going anywhere.
When you say that, be patient, it sounds like we're expecting this team to take leaps and bounds.
That's the sad misconception.
Yeah.
And that's what really upset me yesterday. Again, I'm not mad that she spoke out at all, actually.
Right. I actually liked it that she talked.
What frustrates me is everybody is suddenly going to deflect and say, well, I think the expectations were too high this year. What, 7 and 10?
6?
Losing 10 games this year is too high of an expectation?
Yeah.
There is no conversation happening right now about the Detroit Lions and their head coach if he doesn't give the ball to Philly before halftime and call that timeout. If he doesn't kick that onside kick. If he doesn't follow up with a blown fourth quarter lead in Minnesota.
After a timeout. Don't forget that.
If he doesn't force Seattle to punt once, first time in franchise history for Seattle. Finding historic ways to lose games. That's all he's done. That's why the conversation is what it is. Getting shut up by the New England Patriots and then seeing Justin Fields and the Bears put up 30 plus. That's why this is happening. Not because I don't like Dan Campbell. Not because I don't like Sheila. This has nothing to do with liking anybody. This is about results. The Jets could finish the year 9-8. And that would be a success for them. Mm-hmm. The Giants could win 2 of their next 7 games, 9 games actually, and finish the year 8-9. That still would have been more than what they expected this year. But they're 6-1, poised for a playoff run. Arthur Smith has the Falcons actually competing for their football games.
For their division. Are you kidding me?
And in a year where your division sucks, and the Minnesota Vikings, who, yes, I picked them before the year to win, but they are, I want to say, almost by default at the top because the Packers are falling off. The Bears are the Bears. And the Lions right now are being the Lions.
Bears are overachieving.
And I need to hear about why I need to be patient. Excuse you. Excuse you. Why do I need to be patient? Les Snead. Let's talk about Les Snead. What do you think of Les Snead as a GM?
Just a good general manager.
Good general manager?
He's aggressive. He wants to win.
Okay, interesting. Les Snead had 4 years under his belt before Sean McVay showed up. Did you ever know who Les Snead was?
Did not.
Oh, interesting. Interesting fact.
Knew who Jeff Fisher was.
Oh, you knew who Jeff Fisher was, though. Mr. 7-9, 8-8 all those years, right? Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me that the Rams had 10 consecutive losing seasons, almost half of which were under Les Snead's belt. But when he suddenly hired Sean McVay, Jared Goff went from an 0-7 starting quarterback to a winning quarterback, to a NFC championship winning quarterback, to a division winning quarterback, to a quarterback that played in the Super Bowl. Along with a very talented team, don't get me wrong. But suddenly, in 1 year, they go from a laughingstock under Jeff Fisher to 10 plus wins. Interesting. Oh, well, you know, they were ready to win, Adam. All they needed was a coach. That was not the conversation. Hindsight all you want. That was not the conversation. And you can lie to yourself and say, Adam, Jeff, whoever you want to talk to, guys, The Lions have a $30 million quarterback. No rebuild has ever had that. You got 2 first rounds. You got 2 first round picks for it. Don't you dare complain about that trade. You are winning that trade. Mm-hmm. You were able to get Jameson Williams potentially because of that trade. You are able to move up in the draft if need be because of that trade and draft your franchise quarterback. You may not have to draft up. Who knows how the season plays out? The Rams don't look any good. Their offensive line is falling apart. They have no run game. They have no wide receivers outside of Cooper Kupp. The defense is old. Stop it. Hindsight all you want. No one's talking about this football team in a, quote, negative manner if they're 3-4. Or excuse me, 3-3. Hell, 2-4.
Yeah, I was gonna say
if you weren't dead last in the NFL,
2-4,
you would be on pace to win 6 games, and everybody, including myself, would be like, all right, yeah, like this is what we expected. 7 wins, but you know what? 6, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I said I'd take 6. That's doubling your wins from last year.
Let's
just start with a win on the road, by the way. Continue.
But you are having this conversation because they are bad.
Right.
Not because they are performing well. Where was Sheila after week 2? It was a complete teardown after week 2. When was it a complete teardown? When you were up 10 in the fourth quarter against the 5-1 Minnesota Vikings. When was it a complete teardown? When you went into the game against Seattle fully expecting to win that football game because your roster is more capable. It was a complete teardown conversation. When was that? When was it a complete teardown when you were starting against a third-string quarterback, 6th-round rookie quarterback in Bailey Zappi? When was this a conversation? Oh, what do you know? Up until they were 1-5. Oh, and the wins aren't matching the talk. Last I checked, Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn were in love with their defense in the offseason. We got a defense, man. You guys got to believe in me, man. I have a plan for you. I swear to God, man. You just got to believe in me, man. I swear to freaking God. That's all I ever think about is you guys, man.
He's passionate.
That's great. I'm passionate about a lot of things. Doesn't mean I'm good at them. I'm passionate about astronomy. I could never be an astronaut. I could never work for NASA. I'm passionate about cooking. I suck at cooking. I'm passionate about drawing. I suck at drawing. I don't care if you're passionate or if you work hard at your job. Either you're good or you're not. And so far, he's 4-18-1. We need to be patient. Call me and tell me why I need to be patient, why Jeff needs to be patient. 313-552-6322. You call in and you tell me why patience is required. In a league where I haven't even brought this up yet. And I've really been trying to avoid this. But I have no choice. I have no choice. I want all of you to take a deep breath, and I want you to tell me your expectations for the New York Football Giants. Go for it. Your expectations for the Giants prior to the season. Daniel Jones, no offensive weapons, a questionable health Saquon Barkley, a makeshift offensive line with a rookie tackle in Evan Neal. Your expectations were 5-12. That was your expectation, New York. Maybe 6-11.
I'm looking at, this is via Caesar Sportsbook, Giants, the over-under for them this year was 7.
7 flat or 6.5?
7.5, one website, 6. Just to say 6.5 and 7.5, somewhere in that area.
So they're where the Lines were.
Right.
According to Vegas.
Right.
Interesting. And
right.
the Brian Dable-led New York Giants are 6-1. What is your excuse?
They've already
Robert
achieved
Saleh, 5-2 with the Jets. What is your excuse? Arthur Smith with the Falcons, 10-14 in his first 2 seasons. What is your excuse? Arthur Smith did not take over a playoff contending team either. He took over a 4-12 football team that drafted Kyle Pitts, who sucks this year, with no quarterback, with no offensive weapons, with no offensive line, no running backs. What, Cordero Patterson, who's on IR right now?
Can I give you two more teams with over-unders?
Go for it.
Jets, guess what they were?
5.5, 6.5.
Right on the spot. 5.5.
Okay.
And then I'll go Falcons. Guess what they were?
I would say 5 or 4.5.
Bingo, 4.5.
Oh, wait, so they're already over their expectation almost.
Correct.
Well, so they've won 3 out of the 4.5 games that they were expected to win. Wow.
Correct.
Through 7 games. Have they won a road game yet? See, this is
They
where
have.
you lose me. This is where you lose me. You could tell me to be patient if Dan Campbell right now was 2-5. 2 and what do they play? 6 games? So 2-4.
Yeah, like I said,
You could tell me
to.
to be patient if they were 3-3. You could tell me to be patient if 7 weeks from now they had played 13 games and they were 4-9 or 5-8. You could tell me to be patient. But you are losing in historic fashion. You are blowing games like losing coaches do. Yet you don't want to identify the problem. You want to continue to make excuses for why they're not winning games. Excuses for why they're not winning games. Help me. Help me understand. I'm not going to call out Sheila Ford Hamp. I'm not. She came out, she spoke, that's fine, that's great. Damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. I don't care. I don't care. And she said what I told you all 2-3 weeks ago, that under any circumstance Dan Campbell was going to be here next year, no matter how frustrated I got. True or not true, Jeff?
What was the question? Sorry, I was looking at the over-unders. I was having some fun
2 weeks ago, did I not tell you under any circumstance he would be here in year 3 because of Sheila and that she's his guy?
It was always different. You never said he would be fired. You said, in your opinion, what you would
my
do.
opinion's different than reality.
Absolutely. You said he's going to last beyond this year. You said that.
Because that's her guy.
Right.
And her getting rid of him is an admission of failure and a mistake.
Right.
And she would not do that 2 years in. So get comfortable. Get comfortable. Mm-hmm. But I have to be patient. And again, I can't fast forward. But dear God, help all of you 12 months from now when he's no longer the head coach. God help all of you. God help the organization. Because you have to call a spade sometimes. He's not it. He hasn't shown enough progress. And I'm not saying you fire him right now. But you have to tell him, Dan, do better. Win 3 of your next 4. Win your next 2 maybe. Win 2 of your next 3. Win 3 of your next 5. I can't sit up here and say wins matter. And then he does it and they don't. If he's winning more games, I'm not having this conversation. And neither are you. Be patient. Be patient. It was a complete teardown. Sheila, with all due respect, okay? With all due respect this morning, you may be right in some instances and some facts of that situation. I may give you it. I may agree that this wasn't the greatest football team when Dan Campbell showed up. But there are pieces. And this is not a 1-5 football team. And you've blown multiple fourth quarter leads. You've made multiple, dating back to last year, questionable timeout decisions, onside kicks, giving away possessions, coming out of a bye week, 8 penalties, 5 turnovers. You may be right, Sheila. It is a young team. But so are the Falcons. So are the Giants. So are the Cowboys. So are a lot of teams.
Right.
The Seahawks are starting 6 rookies. What's your excuse? I'm not saying anything about Sheila or Dan. I'm not telling you fire Dan. What I'm telling you is, please listen to what you're telling me. You are telling me to be patient. Brian Daboll didn't get the message. Robert Saleh didn't get the message.
It's a lot of urgency.
And apparently it's a lazy take on my end to say it's not good enough. It's a lazy take on my end to say that, well, the Giants are 6-1 and the Jets are 5-2 because they don't have a $30 million quarterback. Your quarterback is levels above Daniel Jones, levels above Zach Wilson. Robert Saleh's taking the ball out of Zach Wilson's hands to make sure he wins football games. What's Dan Campbell doing? What's his excuse? Defense can't get off the field? Your defense did a damn good job against Dallas and New England. Not sure where the Ben Johnson offense has been the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And this is what concerns me the most, Jeff. And I'm sorry I've been talking so goddamn much. This is what concerns me the most, and then I'll let it settle a little bit. We'll get to callers, and then we'll talk about the Pistons, okay? What kills me the most is 1 week, Dan Campbell will fix something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's say something is A. When he patches A, B, C, and D show up as issues. When he patches A and D, B and C are still problems. When he patches B and C, A and D are now leaking. This is a constant with this head coach and his football team.
It's a great point.
He is responsible for this football team. So 1 week the offense could be thriving, but the defense is awful. 1 week the defense could be thriving, but the offense is awful. He has never been able to put together all three phases of the game together. Make the appropriate adjustments. But I need to be patient. Okay. I'll be patient. I'll wait till next year, because I guess that's what she said, right? No, wait till next year is a complete teardown. So next year, you know what? When they win 7 games, I think that's fair. I'll put the expectation from now. They can win 6-7 games next year, and then maybe they can compete 2 years from that, and then maybe 3 years from then, they'll be able to win the division. So we'll wait 6 years. So we'll wait the full 6 term, and you know, everyone else would have gotten hired and fired by then, and you know, it's all good. It's all good. I'll be patient. When we get back, let's talk about the Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Bojan Bogdanović. My God, my goodness.
We gotta have a conversation.
I love him. I'm in love. I really am. I love the type of player he is. I love the attitude he brings. Having said that, Jeff, tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Big Frog.
Well, guys, you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print one out for you on the spot. So go to Big Frog and Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, you want to win front row tickets to the Detroit versus Green Bay game? I'll tell you how.
Man.
Give us, your best Dan Campbell impersonation. Man. Post that video on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok using hashtag Woodward Front Row. And you will be eligible to win a pair of front row tickets to the game. We will be selecting, 3 lucky winners.
Wow.
That'll get a pair of tickets. Having said that, Good
Man.
luck. Man. God.
I love it,
goodness me. Goodness me.
I'll be down there Sunday. Get to see Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh boy.
Jalen Waddle,
I
Tyreek
hope you
Hill.
enjoy it.
I hope so too.
I want to take a quick
So
pause from Sheila Ford Hamp and the Detroit Lions. I want to talk about the Pistons last night.
Bring your blood pressure down.
K dropping
Or bring it
easily his
back up,
best
I guess.
performance of the season.
Right.
Bojan Bogdanović. I'll let you start. All I have to say is he's been excellent since becoming a Detroit Piston.
No, yeah, he has. I mean, he provides reliability. You needed shooting, and Bojan addressed that. It's still crazy to think that you traded Kelly and Saban Lee for Bojan Bogdanović. And yes, he's on a one-year deal. But just think about this stat. The team total in the fourth quarter, the entire team, besides Bojan, had 11 points. Bojan had 13, shot 4 threes. And you guys saw down the stretch, he was cash. But on top of that, Pistons kept it close. I mean, they really did. They scored 32 in the first quarter against a really good Atlanta Hawks team, by the way. They showed some impressive things, but also some negative things. I mean, 15 for 22 from the free throw line. You can't shoot 68%, especially in this close of a game. One common theme I've been seeing as well is every night you're getting outscored in the paint, and that kind of brings up the point I've been making for a long time now, or really not a long time, but a week since Bagley was hurt. They need Bagley and Burks back. They really do. I mean, this bench is abysmal. It really is. You need a guy like Bagley for his size specifically as well. Defensively, with Corey Joseph in the lineup, Ivy missed because of that non-COVID related illness. They hurt as well. I mean, Cade in the second half didn't have success. I mean, what do you have, like 3 points? So you needed Ivy. Don't get me wrong there. Cade had to step up. He had, you could say, yeah, his best game of the season. Turn the ball over a lot. And that's part of Ivy not being there. You have another guy who can handle the ball, make plays for others. But the thing that frustrated me the most was down the stretch. And Dwayne Casey, I've really done my best job trying to defend him, which I'm not there yet to say fire Dwayne. I still think that's ridiculous. But what you can point out is the mistakes he makes. And I thought it was a big mistake in that fourth quarter, taking Killian out and putting in Corey Joseph. I mean, you watch, not even through in the fourth quarter, but through the entirety of the game, them targeting Corey Joseph, getting him in pick and rolls with Trae Young. I mean, Trae Young was taking advantage of him every single time. And I'm not saying Killian Hayes is a world beater, but what he is a better defender. And you needed him in the fourth quarter. I think in the fourth quarter, he had one of the highest plus-minuses just in the fourth quarter. He played 5 minutes. They took him out of the ball game. You put in Corey Joseph, which, okay, if you want some veterans in there, but still, it was a terrible decision in my opinion. You leave Killian in there to guard Trae Young. He's shown in the past to have success doing that. And it's not like you're going to stop Trae Young, but at least you could slow him down. And with Corey Joseph in the game, they did not do that. Trae Young balled out yesterday. Another thing on top of it, which they're really going to have to look in the mirror, this team, eventually, because defensively, yeah, if you want to say they got slightly better, giving up 118 instead of 130, they have to get better defensively. But again, for a young team, defense always comes last. That's how it is. Most of these guys can offense. It just kind of comes naturally, but defense, especially when you're missing guys already as it is, and you're relying on a lot of young players, the defense is not going to be too good. Communication's key, and with a young team, they got to learn it and grow into that. So I'm not too worried. I'm not concerned yet, but I just thought benching Killian and putting in Corey Joseph in the fourth quarter late was egregious, you could argue. I mean, it was a mistake by Dwayne Casey. And on top of that, if you want to point out the positives, I mean, 14 for 32 from 3. They shot 43%. Yeah, 6 of those went to Bojan, but overall...
I have a quick question for you. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Do the Pistons gain an on-court advantage or maybe a salary cap advantage by having Corey Joseph? Because on his fill-out information sheet, he identifies as a Oompa Loompa. And I'm not sure if there's like a special reward for NBA teams to have Oompa Loompas on their team.
Okay.
But I'm not understanding why he's playing for this team in the fourth quarter.
Well, again, this has been a big joke amongst Pistons fans since last year. Dwayne trusts Corey Joseph. But yeah, you could trust him, but also he can cost you on the defensive side of the ball, and he did. So for me, to take away from it, for Bojan Bogdanović, listen, I get this is a guy, the better he plays, Troy Weaver has more and more flexibility. I mean, think about it. You trade Kelly and Saban Lee for him. Now you could probably flip him for a first-round pick if a contender reaches out because, trust me, how he's playing right now, every contender is going to want Bogdanović. But honestly, should he even leave? I mean, to be honest with you, Bojan, depending on what he asked for in free agency, I wouldn't mind if he had a future with the Pistons. Like, this shooting, what he brings to the table is something we've lacked, which is a consistent three-point shooter. Sadiq played well yesterday. What frustrated me about Sadiq is in the fourth quarter, didn't take a shot. Again, I mean, you don't have Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey. I'm still expecting him to take that next step, but he's got to go out and do it. I mean, you've got to be more aggressive, especially in the fourth quarter. But overall, Pistons hung in there without Ivey. I think Duren, just to speak on him a little bit, this is a guy that I believe he's just getting better and better. I know defensively, in terms of, in the pick and roll defense, he's struggled. I mean, teams, especially you get him in a pick and roll, he's losing his man, giving up a lot of easy dunks and layups. But when he's on you, he's on you. I mean, the guy's a man amongst boys for his age, 18 years old. Does not look like it. So that's a guy to keep watch on for to continue the season, because I think Duren, the better he plays, the thing I love about this team currently is there's competition, and I love that. Isaiah Stewart last year didn't really have competition. You didn't have a guy behind Isaiah knocking on the door. This year you do. Duren is keeping him on his toes, and as inefficient as Isaiah Stewart's been, specifically from three, he's been taking a lot of threes, about 4 to 5 a game, hasn't been that successful. Duren is slowly creeping up behind him. And if you look at the stats, too, every game so far, they've pretty much been outscored in the paint. Last night, it was 56 to 42 points in the paint, the differential. So Duren is becoming more and more, you can make a case for him. The problem is, though, if you start Duren right now, what's your bench? Like, that's the issue. So
Stewart.
Well, we'll chill
Stewart
on that for a
doesn't
second.
need to be on the court.
But Duren brings that energy off the bench. He brings some of that juice off the bench. So when you get Burks and Bagley back, I'm telling you, that when you get size back, it's going to help this team. They do miss Burks and Bagley. But overall, I thought they played a good game until late in the fourth quarter, and some decisions were made. So not too mad. You wanted this game from Cade Cunningham, but overall, Adam, it's just another loss on the sheet. You're 1-4. But I'm not concerned yet, but it is frustrating. I mean, they got to play better defensively. No question about it.
Look, January, I told you Casey doesn't need to be here. You guys got mad at me, and not you specifically, but a portion of the fan base got mad. Too early. Right. I think he made the comment the other day, right now we're pouring concrete. We're not the finished building product yet. We're still pouring the concrete. And you know what? I see that, though.
But this is the NBA, so he's allowed to say that because he's right.
It's a little different, right?
Right.
You're waiting for your stars to develop. Mark Jackson came at the right time and got the year 4, year 5, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, got them to the 52 wins. And then Steve Kerr came at the perfect time when they were ready to compete and win championships, and that was the reality. The Pistons, under any head coach, would not be contending right now. Having said that, Dwayne Casey, I swear to God, Corey Joseph's on the court one more time in the fourth quarter. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, just be normal. Stop playing a small ball. It's not working. You're getting out-rebounded. I believe the stat last night, and excuse me, I can't source it because I forgot the name. I apologize from now. But there were 12 opportunities, 12 misses by the Hawks in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
6 of them were offensive boards. The other 6 were defensive boards. That is pathetic. You can't be giving up 6 offensive rebounds.
That's the problem
in a quarter.
Because you take Duren out early in that fourth quarter and you put Isaiah Stewart in, and you're against Clint Capella, John Collins. Like, both those guys are bigger than Isaiah, so that's where the lack of size comes into play. And that's why you could probably make a case.
Keep your size out there.
Right.
You don't have an advantage going 4 small, 1 big against 2 bigs and 3 forwards. I don't like it. Guards, I don't like it.
And Sadiq Bey, by the way, missing those 2 free throws late in the game.
Sadiq Bey.
That was, I mean, if you want to count that as a shot, technically he did take a shot. He missed both free throws, but still, like, that didn't help either. But again.
Well, look, when we get back, we'll go to the people patiently waiting on the phone line. We'll get to Michael about the Pistons, Rick about the Lions in just a second. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Well, the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast called This is the S Word will help fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, tell them, or even yourself, to head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, because it's the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you can pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to you and 9 other people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. You can check it all out. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right. Excuse me. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you to everybody joining us over at WoodwardSports.com this morning, everybody in the Woodward Sports chat. For all the latest news, your favorite authors, articles, check out WoodwardSports.com.
Great merch, by the way.
We're always live for our shows there as well.
Very sexy merchandise.
Sexy is a strong word. Aggressive word. I like it, Jeff. Be patient. That's today's word of the day, or phrase of the day. Be patient. But before we talk about being patient, let's get Michael on. He's been waiting a little bit. Michael, you're on the Morning Woodward Show. You wanted to talk about the Pistons. What do you got for us?
What up, Michael? Michael?
Michael, you there, buddy? Say it one more time, buddy. Can't hear you. All right. Michael, we'll take a quick pause. We'll let you figure out your phone situation. So we'll move on a little bit from the Pistons, and we'll come back. Let's go to Rick out in Arizona. Rick, do me a favor, buddy. It's been a long morning. Tell me why I need to be patient. You there, buddy? Rick? Hey, the caller's just dropping off today. Not liking this. I'm going to take a pause from taking callers till they get their,
yeah, Michael
get
said,
their act together.
On WoodwardSports.com, Michael said, phone line is down. Just went silent.
Interesting.
We'll get
Interesting. Fish, figure your stuff out before I kick your ass. Having said that, be patient. What does that mean in the NFL? Honest to God, right? And I'm not a fan of arguing with individuals because they think differently than me. Everyone's entitled to your own opinion.
It's a free country.
I'm not going to dog you for having an opinion. If you truly believe, if you're going to sit up here and tell me, Adam, this regime is different. It factually is different. Statistically, it's different. Da-da-da-da-da. Brad Holmes is different. Dan Campbell's different. Fine. Fine. You want me to tell you? I got nothing for you. But if I have to continue to look every year, well, what's the excuse next year when they don't win 10 games?
Well, Adam, it'd probably be much easier if you saw that progress. I think if you could really latch onto something.
Where is it?
That's my question. Like last year.
Where is it?
Last year, to be the only team to not win a road game with Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this year, let's talk about this year. The only teams that haven't won a road game. We'll go through it right now, and you tell me what stands out. The Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, two teams that have way more talent than the Lions. Carolina Panthers, they haven't won a road game, and then the Detroit Lions. What's a common theme among those four teams?
Right now, they have losing records.
Well, you can also argue not a good head coach. I mean, you look at Denver, he's on the hot seat.
Can I be honest with you?
Josh McDaniels is
Before you say
underperforming.
anything about Josh, can I say something about Josh McDaniels?
What?
I'm very disappointed.
Yes.
With his start to the season.
A lot of people are.
But watch out for the Raiders.
No.
No. Hear me out. Listen very carefully.
Okay, no, I'm hearing you out.
Their ability, they're relying on Josh Jacobs more. They're running the football. The defense is playing much better. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, that connection is there.
Right.
They played a damn good game against KC on the road. Watch out for Vegas. Their schedule gets a little easier. Don't be surprised. What are they, 2-4 right now?
2-4.
Don't be surprised if they're a 6-5 football team 5 weeks from now.
So let's just say they are. So it'd be only Denver, Carolina, and Detroit.
Carolina suck and
Denver's
Denver
underachieving with a terrible head coach. So my point is, we just haven't seen that. The only flash I could really say we've seen through really 1.5 years is beating Arizona, who was a disaster down the stretch last year. So it's you ain't got much.
What does that mean? What does that mean? They were a 2-win team prior to the last week of the season. And they beat a Green Bay team that rested their players in the second half.
And I was there, by the way. They picked apart Jordan Love. By the way, give them credit for that Arizona win, not taking it away. But really, that's the only.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only game they've won in Dan Campbell's tenure so far that you could say they weren't supposed to win.
Yay.
And they won.
Woohoo. Yippee. Wow. You won a football game? You won a football game? Oh my God. Forget what that's like.
And by the way, have to address this too, because I think people get misconstrued at this point. Nobody's saying this team is good enough to go to the playoffs. I don't think anybody here, at least on this show, I can't speak for
there is no other show. No.
Well,
no,
Ryan,
we're going to stop right there.
Hold on.
But I'm not letting them get away with this.
But Ryan did say they make the playoffs.
I don't care what Ryan has to say.
But
I don't care what anybody.
Nobody had playoff aspirations. No one knew. I didn't think this team would make the playoffs.
We are not talking about this team right now because they had playoff expectations. You can do that in Denver.
Far from that, yeah.
That was the expectation in Denver, not Detroit. The expectation was for them to show progress on the field, player development, and in the result column.
Well, Adam,
they are failing in the result column.
But Adam,
that's why you're having this conversation, because like I told you to start the show, if you're 3-3 right now, everything is okay. Everything is good. You can lose to Green Bay and Miami and maybe Buffalo and sneak in a win here and there and still be on pace to win 6 games, and everything is okay, and 7 games possibly. Everything. You are 1-5. You are dead last in the NFL. You are worse than the Carolina Panthers.
But Adam, instead of 0-5, you're 1-5. Or 0-6, you're 1-5.
0-11-1 on the road. Multiple fourth quarter blown leads.
Yeah,
we are not talking just about the record
the
here.
Context isn't pretty either.
Guys, grow up a little bit. Quote, be patient? Excuse you? Brian Dable and the Giants didn't get that message.
Yeah. Arthur Smith sure did.
Arthur Smith didn't get the message.
He definitely
7-10 last year. 3-4 this year. Marcus Mariota, his starting quarterback.
And a rookie.
None of these coaches have gotten the message about being patient.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the reality of the NFL is there is no such thing as patience. There's no such thing as a rebuild. Everybody's always rebuilding, retooling. Now, there are teams like the Rams who have a very harsh reality in front of them, which is when they move off of Donald, McVay, and Stafford, Ramsey, etc. When that's done, probably after this year, they will suck for 2 years. They will. It is the reality. They have to address their cap situation. They have a lot to look forward to. But they did it. Why? Why did they go all in? Oh, wait, for a championship. Worth it. I would sacrifice 5 winning seasons for a Super Bowl. Hell, a division at this point. Don't even know what that looks like. I wasn't even alive when they won the division. They didn't even win the division when it was called NFC North. It was the NFC Central back in the day.
Right.
It's now the North, and they have yet to win the North. Be patient. Again, Sheila, I get it. You're coming out, supporting your team. No problem. I actually don't have a problem with her comments at all. But the ignorance behind be patient is what drove me off the cliff. The ignorance behind the reality, Adam, because she's addressing everybody. So I took it as myself included.
Right. Fans,
media. The reality is, this is a young team. That's a fact. Let me tell you what else is a fact, Sheila. Your head coach is yet to win on the road. Your head coach has blown multiple fourth quarter leads. Your team is 1-5 this season. They're on pace to win 2.89 games. Less than last year's 3-win season. Fact! You play the Miami Dolphins next. Fact! You play the Green Bay Packers after that. Fact! You play the Bears. Fact! You play the Giants. Fact! You play the Buffalo Bills. And there is a harsh reality that you may be 1-9. If you're lucky, 3-7. If you're lucky. Be patient. It's a young team. I didn't get the message because last I checked, everybody around the league isn't making excuses. But in Detroit, and this isn't really for the owner, this is really for all the fan base. In Detroit, we have a coddle that we cuddle the Lions and Sheila and Dan. And we cuddle all of them. And it's okay. And how dare you criticize 1-5? How dare you criticize 4-18-1? How dare you? Oh, Sheila loves facts. I love facts too. Fact, Sheila Ford Hamp. Marty Morningwig was 4-18 through his first 22 games. Your head coach was 4-17-1. Marty Morningwig. Maybe you remember him. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Not sure what you were doing at the time. That is your head coach. And if Dan Campbell right now is 3-3, I am sitting up here saying nothing but good things about him, saying how he is slightly ahead of schedule. The team has looked good. They've won on the road. They've played well. They lost a few games, sure. That's the NFL. You're going to lose games. Nobody's going undefeated. And they're on pace through 6 games to win 7 or 8.
Right.
And likely by December, they'll be in the playoff hunt picture for a wild card spot. Not a division spot, not even the team that's in the wild card spot. But they'll at least be in the graphic that says in the hunt. And you aren't even afforded that in year 2. Just be patient. Be patient. Sheila seems like she wants to win, says Dad with Tourette's. But the urgency will never be there. Why? Because they turn a huge profit every single year. Yeah, look, first of all, I'm not talking about that. The Fords own the Lions. That's not changing. I'm not doing that crap. That's a waste of my time and your time.
Right.
Number 1. Number 2, I'm sure everybody wants to win. I'm sure everybody wants to be the CEO of Apple. Well, guess what? Not many get to do it. You have to be elite. You have to strive for perfection. And you know what? Coaches that are beyond obsessed with what they do and are good at it, you know what happens? They come out of the bye week, they don't commit 8 penalties. They don't commit 5 turnovers. They don't blow multiple fourth quarter leads. They don't blow halftime leads. Sean McVay, up until last year, I believe, had never lost a game in his career being up at halftime, up until last year. In his career, 70, 80 plus games, up at halftime, never gave up the lead. There are coaches that have statistics and data to back up their resume, career, whatever you want to define it as. What does Dan Campbell have? 0 road wins. And the continuous speech of, you just got to trust me, man. I swear to freaking God, man. That's what we get in Detroit. But I have to be patient. I have to be patient.
One thing I did agree with before we go to break, that she said that it's kind of based on circumstances what they have right now,
which is
they are relying on a lot of young players defensively to excel. Like you have Kirby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, Aidan Hutchinson, Josh Pascal. Like these are 4 rookies that have to make an impact for your defense to be playing well.
Jeff.
So I get where she's coming from.
Jeff.
Offensively, not really much there to talk about.
Jeff.
What?
How many rookies are Seattle starting on defense? How many are the Giants?
Oh my
How many are the Jets?
Yeah, well, I'm
many are the
not saying
Falcons?
Dan Campbell's Pete Carroll. All right,
I'm just telling you.
I'm not saying
Jeff. How could she?
Because if you think about it, against Minnesota, that blown after the timeout, it's inexcusable. You can't do that. But at the end of the day, who is the safety? Can you name me that? Because it wasn't Tracy Walker.
It wasn't Kirby Joseph.
Exactly. There's another guy, that third string safety. So again, I'm not going to sit here and defend Dan Campbell. I think the bigger problem for me is this team has yet to really play, besides Washington in the first half and Minnesota up until the last play of the game. With KJ Osborne, they haven't played a complete game. That's my issue, and you haven't won on the road. So
let's take a pause. When we get back, we'll get to Kenneth, Michael. We got a lot of people on the phone lines right now, so make sure you're watching over at woodwardsports.com. Make sure you're leaving your comments in the Woodward Sports chat. We'll be right back in just a bit, but before we do, I got to tell you where I need to go, because my God, I look like a grizzly bear, and that's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men.
Grizzly bear.
Stop in to any Lady Jane's near you, and you will be eligible to win with a haircut, of course, to win a lifetime opportunity and get a down payment for the home of your dreams, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Today, I want all of you to join the Ermanni and Edwards show with Maz live in Dearborn at the Michael Phillips Keller Williams office. Braylon and the team will be doing meet and greets after the show at 4:30, and make sure you stick around for trunk or treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more, all from Michael Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams. Oh,
are you gonna make it alive? Like,
Fish,
I really feel bad.
He may
for
not,
you.
Fish. I mean,
I feel. Well,
Stop being so
I'm
late
allowed
on the
to feel bad for you, no?
Shut the hell up and stop being so late on the music. Let's go to Kenneth out in East Point. Kenneth, you're on the Morning Woodward show. What do you got for us, buddy?
And you're not going to like what I have to say, Adam, but I'm just going to say it. I'm sick of your piss-poor attitude, and I'm going to tell you why. Looking at the schedule here, hey, you listen here. I'm in charge right now. I'm on the air. Dolphins, we're going to be swimming in their seas defeating them. Green Bay Packers, never heard of Aaron Rodgers because he's unvaccinated. Justin Fields, go back to Ohio. Eli Manning doesn't even play for the New York Giants. We will lose to the Buffalo Bills, but then we'll be going to Trevor Lawrence's house and cutting his hair. The Vikings, the Lions kill Vikings. The Jets, we might lose to the Jets. Then we're going to beat the Panthers, the Bears, and we're going to beat Aaron Rodgers again. 10-7, baby. 10-7.
Kenneth, let me ask you this.
Yes.
How far do you live from the studio?
I live about 20 minutes away.
20 minutes?
And I'm not afraid of you.
All right, good. Well, I'm gonna offer you something. I want you to come down to the studio. All right, I want to buy you a coffee, and I want to have a conversation with you. Okay, is that cool?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna say one more thing, and I know it's gonna be hurtful. Dan Campbell has better facial hair than you. I said it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure I could coach better than Dan Campbell, so I don't think that's saying much. So.
Yeah, you could coach these nuts because the Lions are going 10-7. I'm out.
10-7 in the playoff win, baby.
Oh God, that is. I look forward to him calling in every day.
I know.
And I know it's him, and I still can't help it but let him through. I love it. I love it. Great job. Let's go to Michael. Michael's been waiting patiently. Michael, you have a little different take, I believe, on Bogdanović. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. I can't get over the last caller. I mean, that's exactly like the Kool-Aid that we talk about. My God. Over the cup of coffee, you guys can have a little psyche evaluation, maybe.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, yeah, that guy is full of it. I actually was calling up about the Pistons, but let's talk Lions first real quick. I was actually at the game. I bought my tickets like week 1. My buddy was out in Dallas. I was like, okay, cool. Get to go visit my buddy. Get to go to the Lions game. And, I'm sitting around and I'm talking to Cowboys fans. I'm kind of just trying to get a feel for how they feel about the Lions and kind of individual players. How does an outside perspective feel about Calvin Johnson? Because us Detroiters feel like he's the best ever. They say he's top 5. We all agree on Barry Sanders. But then it kind of came down to present day. And they say, yeah, man, there's no doubt that you guys just have bad luck. The refs are out to get you. And then what do you know? 3 plays later, Jamal Williams stumbled on the goal line right in front of me. So the guy just looks at me and starts laughing. I said, hey, you're seeing it firsthand what it's like to be a Lions fan. I mean, right there, set in stone. But really, Lions' focus here is, really looking forward. I'm kind of on the CJ Stroud train just because of his size and stature and just ability to see over the offensive line. And, Bryce Young is obviously an amazing talent, but I kind of worry about his vision behind the pocket. Like you heard Tua even say, in week 2, I have to move around in order to kind of see through the line.
Yep.
And Bryce Young is pretty much the same size, if not smaller, I want to say, just from the look of it. I don't know the actual
it's probably 6 foot.
Metric. Yeah, so I'm a little worried about Bryce Young there, but I will say what's attractive about bringing Bryce Young in possibly, we're all assuming he gets the number 1 pick at this point, is the connection that he has with Jameson Williams. I think that could be really, really interesting to take the top off the defense. And, kind of talking about Jameson Williams, I'm not sure what his status is at this point. And honestly, do we even want him back?
1 month away. 1 month away. And we were actually getting to that in the second hour, but we can kind of touch on it now, which is I'm not sure the incentive of bringing a rookie who's 9 months off of ACL surgery, which is a huge operation, to a 1-5 football team who will likely be 1-9 by the time he gets back, maybe 2-8. I just don't see the reason, but you have to play him at the end of the day. I see him playing probably the last 4 games of the year, but they're going to take their time with him. Cooper Kupp took 10 months. Other notable, Adrian Peterson, I believe, was a little quicker than that, but still, 10 months is probably the consensus. So he's almost there. I'm not too concerned with his recovery, to be honest with you, but again, I'm more fed up right now with the idea of having to be patient. And I'm not sure how many buddies you have out in New York, but I have a few friends who live in New York, grew up in New York, who I used to work with when I was working remotely. And these guys are basically having the time of their lives right now. One of them is a Giants fan who's supporting a 6-1 football team that he told me would be 3-14 going into the year. And then the other wasn't sure about Robert Saleh because he was a defensive-minded head coach, and this dude wanted an offensive-minded head coach. And what do you know? They're 5-2. Michael, I don't know why I have to be patient.
You don't, Adam. That's the thing. I mean, we don't have to be patient. I'm the same age as you. Our parents didn't have to be patient. I mean, we're going on 60-plus years, so Sheila can take that patience and shove it right up her F-150 ass. So let's get away from the kitty cats here and go to something a little bit more promising. The Pistons, I guess you could say. I watch every game. I'm tweeting live. Jeff and I interact on Twitter. I'm Mr. Detroit on Twitter, by the way, guys.
Oh, man. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, you too. I know.
I know how you feel about Killian Hayes, by the way.
if I ever. I mean, let's be honest here. That was 3.5 games through, not 3 games, or 3.5 seasons through, not 3 games. So, Killian last night, I don't disagree, actually, about the putting him in the fourth quarter for defense, because him and Duren really kind of set the energy to start the fourth quarter.
Right.
And that was great, but I was honestly convinced, I don't think we saw Killian really the entire second quarter. And most of the third, I was convinced at one point that that was it. He was out of the rotation last night. I was really convinced that Casey had seen enough. We saw us playing Cade at the 1 and Livers at the 2, and I actually really liked that lineup when it was out there. We were producing well. The ball was moving great. Everyone on the floor could kind of shoot. So I don't disagree with the Killian, but the bigger thing to me was taking out Duren. This guy was eating up the glass. You have Capella, who's a notorious rebounder. Okongwu was doing work down low. And then you just saw, like you talked about, those 6 offensive rebounds on the 12 missed shots in the fourth quarter. Nearly every single one of them were tap-outs by Capella or whatever it was. I mean, Stewart just looks like a baby compared to these guys.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that drives people nuts with Casey is some of these rotation decisions. Who's playing in the fourth quarter? Killian can't shoot if his life depended on it. I mean, that's a whole different problem. But with Duren, Duren is unbelievable. You basically got him for nothing. I'm not sure how Weaver made the trades and moves he made, but God bless his heart. Jalen Duren right now is arguably better and has been more impressive than Jaden Ivey. And Ivey, to me, outside of maybe Benedict Mathurin, has been the best rookie in the NBA so far, and Banchero, which is saying something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from even the preseason when I'm watching Duren, it just screams, prime early Dwight Howard to me. I mean, he's just eating the glass. He makes an entire difference on the entire paint of the defense. I mean, he really gives me prime Dwight Howard vibes in his early days in Orlando. And when you're getting destroyed on the glass and your best rebounder is sitting on the bench, I just don't get the thought. It's not like we need Stewart out there shooting 6 threes a game either. Right. 3 max, man. What the Warriors do so well, and the reason that they're so successful, obviously they have the Splash Bros, but they all know who should be taking the shot when, right? Draymond can make 3. He's not great at them, and neither is Isaiah Stewart. Draymond can be wide open for 3, but he knows that this possession means more than him getting his shot. He knows that for the success of the team, he has to move the ball and get it to the right person at the right time for the right shot. When I see Isaiah Stewart taking the 3 with 15 seconds left in the shot clock and he's just trying to get his, it tells me that's part of the maturing in the team development and the growth is not only how you work together, but how you realize who you are yourself.
Absolutely.
And for Cade to be shooting as many threes as Isaiah Stewart is a problem. I don't need Stewart shooting threes. It's a nice security blanket knowing that on a pick and pop, if you have 2 seconds left in the shot clock, you're not passing it out to Ben Wallace for 3, but you have something in Isaiah Stewart. I need Bogdanović shooting the threes. I need Bey shooting the threes. I need Killian shooting the threes. Or excuse me, not Killian. I need Cade shooting the threes, and I need Ivey shooting the threes. And really, my big take on Bogdanović, just coming full circle here, is he's been great, right? I love what I'm seeing out of Bogey. He's amazing. He honestly, you could argue, is the best player at creating his own shot on our team.
Yes.
I would say that Cade honestly looks a step slow this year. He doesn't have the burst or the athleticism when he gets to the hoop. You see he finishes through contact a lot, but he was always below the defender when he's doing it. You saw last night he would go to the hoop and challenge the center, but he was always underneath and kind of finishing off the glass and in. He's not going over top anyone. So I'm a little concerned there in terms of his explosiveness. And I honestly, personally, I view Cade as more of a small forward. He's an undersized small forward to me with guard-like abilities. And with the whole Bogdanović and Bey fit, and Bogdanović playing so well, I love that he's playing well, but if I'm being honest, he's probably not part of the long-term plan. And Weaver had this trick up his sleeve that he was going to use him as a trade asset, because who doesn't like a stretch forward who can shoot at the deadline, right? It's great that Bogdanović is playing well, but it's really taking away from the long-term goal of Saddiq Bey playing really well, too. And I think last night he was able to kind of get himself involved a little bit better. But I just worry about, okay...
Saddiq I would agree, Saddiq currently is the odd man out, and I'll turn to Jeff a little bit for this one because, again, there's always ever one basketball on the court, but I think you made a great point, Michael, earlier when you said when it was Livers at the 2 and Cade at the 1, the offense really flowed, and you had Saddiq on the court, and you even had Duren. to me, Casey's just making in-game mistakes, which is you have two centers out there basically, in Collins and Capella. Get Duren out there.
Yep.
Don't pull him out of the game. He's on the court whenever they are. It's that simple. We don't have to overcomplicate this. This isn't a small ball team. It's not a team filled with impeccable shooters. Like, I like that Ivy's having a good start to the year from three. I like that Cade's doing well as well. But at the end of the day, whether he's undersized, I think we both agree he's not uber athletic like in Jaden Ivey was, and that's why Ivey was so attractive at 5 this year. It was the balance of having a Cade Cunningham who kind of plays the game like Luka a little bit in terms of how slow he is, right? You underestimate how athletic Luka is, but it's never high-paced, high-motor, 150 miles an hour with Cade. It's tactical, it's calculated, it's very nonchalant, and this year with all the muscle he's added, I'm sure he's trying to get to the basket more and draw fouls and get easy buckets. But yeah, look, Mike, honestly, great call. Appreciate you coming on. Great job, well done, well said. Jeff, I think you agree with him on Bogdanović for Sadiq, no? I don't think it's an issue personally. I think Sadiq needs to get his head out of his ass, not in a mean way, but just Sadiq needs to know when it's his time and when it isn't, and whether that's on Casey or the chemistry or it's only 4 games into the season and it's way too early. There's a lot of factors, but I'm not totally sold on the fact that Sadiq is lost at the moment. I just think it's early season struggles, and Bogdanović is the only one who has urgency, I believe, at the moment. He's the one saying, they're on an 11-0 run. What are you doing standing in the corner? Like, give me the ball. I'm going to attack the basket. I'll get us an easy layup, run your ass down court, and play some defense.
Yep.
That's what Bogdanović is doing, basically.
And it also helps that he's 30-plus years old. So he's a veteran in this league. And a lot of it is this team figuring things out. I think Sadiq's a big part of that. We talked about it. He's really had one, or now really you could say 2 good games this year. The other games, I mean, even the game before this one against Indiana, took like 5 shots for the entire game. So there's still some of that figuring out process with Sadiq Bey, but it's nothing too much positive so far. I mean, I expected Sadiq Bey early on to take that jump, but I also didn't expect Bojan to be here. That trade kind of came out of nowhere.
15, 17 shots, good looks a night from Sadiq.
The question I have is is Bojan taking those opportunities away, which, again, he's making shots.
Too early to tell. I would say no, though. I would say Bojan is...
Because they played well together last night, but Jaden Ivey wasn't there. So those are 15, 16 shots that are available for everybody else. Exactly.
But they'll figure it out.
Exactly.
That's Dwayne Casey's job. When we get back, 9:17, we got a lot more to talk about. Our injuries holding back Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, especially the Jamison Williams injury a month out. We'll get to that and so much more in just a bit. But remember, all of you, be patient. Be patient, my favorite word. Jeff, could you do us a favor and tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Cintron?
Well, you don't have to be patient with Cintron, because I'm telling you, the minute you drink it, you're ready to go. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings. Cintron has combined 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box, which you can see if you're watching on WoodwardSports.com. You see it, classic, cranberry, sugar-free. You can pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using #WoodwardFrontRow. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
All right, if you're fat and out of shape and the gym's not cutting it for you, I got a great solution for you. That's Custom Health Centers. They take the willpower out of weight loss, whether you need to lose 20 or 120 pounds. Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and, most importantly, safely. It's not always easy to lose weight, and Custom Health Centers has the right solutions for you. Call 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN.
You need a hug. Like, you just seem down. And I feel bad for you. You need a hug. Or something. Or
Look at what this team has done to him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's hell.
Do I look like I need a hug?
Yes, you do. You're angry. You're sad. I mean, those are all
Do I look sad?
Yes, behind all the anger. When there's anger, there's sad. And then there's frustration.
You need Fish's mentality.
Never sad. Nothing but anger.
Okay.
Pure hatred.
There's always sadness inside the anger, though.
Pure hate. Frustration. Anger.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Sad.
You
Never
need,
sad.
You need a hug. You need help. You need something.
I don't need a hug. I need a win. I need a string of wins.
Hopefully Dan Campbell...
I need a road win.
Okay.
I need a non-turd coach.
Hopefully Dan Campbell can give you a hug this weekend against the Dolphins. I don't need a hug from Dan Campbell. I need him to go win football games. Well, he may.
I need him not to commit 8 penalties out of a bye week and 5 turnovers. But it's not his fault because he didn't technically throw it. He didn't technically fumble it at the one. Yeah, I know.
I mean, he'll give you a hug when they win next week against the Dolphins. Or this week against the Dolphins.
I would pay any amount of money to see a sit-down interview, Adam Beydoun, Dan Campbell.
Oh, that would be legendary.
One-on-one, Woodward Sports.
Yeah, it wouldn't go
and
well.
And no filter, too. No filter. So you can say whatever you want.
First question, sit down with Dan. Hey, Dan, thank
why
you for
the hell are
taking
you
time.
here?
No, I'd be very professional.
Oh.
Hey, Dan, thank you for taking the time this morning to speak with me. How are you? Good, Adam, man. I'm good, man. All right, good, Dan. Dan, let me start with this. So your first 23 games, you've won as many games as Marty Morningwig has in Detroit Lions history. You haven't won a road game. You've yet to show any major adjustments coming out of the half. You've made questionable decision after questionable decision after questionable decision, which includes onside kicks, timeouts, decisions not to go for it, to go for it on 4th down. Give me one reason why the Detroit Lions fan base should trust you to turn around your football team.
Man, I feel like this team's close, man. I feel like we got the ball, we got the right players. We just need to execute better. We need to not fumble on the 1-yard line, and then we're good. If we don't fumble, if we don't turn the ball over, Jared Goff throwing the football great, we'll win the game, man. All you need to do is execute, and if you execute better, you'll win the game. That's pretty simple.
Fish, you just nailed that. That might be verbatim what Dan would say. And you know what? Now that we're talking about this,
you just got to get one win, Jeff. One win, and then one win turns to 2, turns to 3, turns to 4, and all of a sudden you're heading to the playoffs.
Dan Campbell, I understand. But I got to ask this question, and we'll answer this. Are the injuries holding back Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions? And I think there's 2 parts to this. The first part for me is the injuries are helping, certainly. If you want to go on, just look at the injury reserve list. I mean, it's not pretty, by the way. I mean, you don't have Tracy Walker as it is. DJ Chark, your 1-year rental, didn't really pop off, and now he's out for a long time. He's placed on injury reserve. Tommy Kramer, backup guard, he's on injury reserve. Quintez Cephas out for the year. These guys aren't, game changers, but certainly their depth. Vaitai obviously was never here. So it doesn't help. Charles Harris missed last game. He's questionable this week. But on top of that, what frustrates me is even with these injuries, you had a chance to win in Dallas in the 4th quarter. You blew it, or the players blew it, rather.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they did. But I'll continue. It doesn't help, but it's not an excuse. It's funny that people will come out and say, Jeff, you're making excuses. No, do you watch the show? No one's making excuses for Dan. I'm stating facts. It does not help them that you didn't have DeAndre Swift. It does not help them that you did not have Amon-Ra St. Brown. But that's not a reason why. I can't give you a free pass for losing because of that.
Let me talk to you about
hurts your chances.
Injuries.
And the Lions don't really have a lot of room to grab as it is.
Well,
when you lose those two
injuries,
players,
buddy.
it doesn't help, especially on your strong side of the football, which is offense. So
let me help you.
You don't need to help
The
me.
Giants,
God,
before the
here
season,
we go.
had 6 players on injured reserve. Since then, they've added another 1, 2, 3, 4, likely 5 players. Sterling Shepard now 6, Ellerson Smith 7 players since then have been sent to injured reserve.
But
Leonard Williams,
hold on.
week to week, has been
Has
questionable.
Barkley been out? Has Barkley been out? Because you can't bring up Sterling Shepard like he's this game changer. I mean, has Saquon missed a game this year?
So you're going to tell me with a straight face?
I'm not saying he's the entire reason, but Adam,
What?
keep going. Keep going.
What are we talking about here? Who's got the better offensive line, the Giants or the Lions?
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying DeAndre
Who has
Swift.
better
So
receiving core?
do you yes or no agree
Since
with me or
when do
disagree?
running backs carry that
how
much
important
value?
is DeAndre Swift to this offense? I'll let you go.
He's very important, of course.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the single reason why you're 1-5, but does it not help?
It's nice to have Saquon Barkley, but Daniel Jones is throwing to no receivers, no tight ends.
But Adam,
what are we talking about here?
Saquon is among the league leaders in rushing yards. You can't look at me in a straight face and say Daniel Jones in this offense or that offense wouldn't have as much success if Saquon missed half the games.
The Lions would have more success if DeAndre Swift is healthy. That's a what-if scenario.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm telling you, all the injuries that the Giants are dealing with, and they're still winning football games. You want to look at the Miami Dolphins injury report right now? Teron Armstead, Xavier Howard, Melvin Ingram, Tanner Connor, Greg Little, Jalen Waddle, Christian Wilkins, Raheem Mostert, all on the injury report. Limited practice, did not practice.
Yeah, I think, I don't want this point misconstrued. I'm not saying that's the
I'm trying to
sole reason
understand
they're
because
losing.
there are teams outside that are overcoming injuries. Now, if Saquon goes down, that is not ideal. Breece Hall went down, and he's the offense out in New York. They figured out a way to win that football game.
I mean, it was like 16-9 with a backup quarterback with Denver. But yeah, continue. And they went and traded for James Robinson.
There's always
so clearly
a reason.
They got
there's always a reason, Jeff. That's
Right.
what kills me. Not that you aren't making a point here, but there's always a reason.
Right.
There's always why it's okay. Not that you're saying it is, but this is what the fan base will hold on to, and those who just don't like what I say, it is. There's always a reason why it's okay that they lost because I can justify it. If they lose to the Bills, I don't need to justify it. The Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Right.
Losing to Philly at home, the opportunity you had all game on you. Beating Washington like you should have. Well done. Well done. Did nothing but praise you all week for it. On the road to Minnesota. Minnesota was 1-1 at the time. They were coming off a brutal loss to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
You had confidence going into that game. Everybody did. They dominate for 3.5 quarters. And like every other Lions coach before him, Dan Campbell blows it in the fourth quarter. Week 4 against the Seattle Seahawks. Expectation to get back to 500. Right the ship. 45 points. Lose.
And that was without Swift. So
Shut out to the Patriots. Lose.
Mm-hmm.
Off a bye week. 8 penalties, 5 turnovers. Lose. That's what frustrates me.
Right.
Not that you're not correct in saying that there are injuries, and that I would agree with you, actually, that if Swift was available, they would be a lot different on offense.
Yeah.
They would be more productive. They maybe would have won a few more games. Who knows? If I had a vagina, I'd be a woman. If my mother had a dick, she'd be my dad.
I did not expect you to take that route. But yeah, you're onto something. And even without Swift or St. Brown, to your point, they had a chance to win at Dallas. I mean, it's 10-6 in the fourth quarter, even without those two guys. And Jamal Williams fumbles on the 1-yard line. Jared throws 2 interceptions. Jared fumbles the football.
All right, look.
So that's the reality. They can't close these games.
Michigan State preview coming up. I'm going to address Mr. Night Owl in the Woodward Sports chat. He said, Adam thought the Lions were going to win something like 9 to 10 games. Now that it's not happening, it's got to be the head coach. Night Owl, do me a favor, 34915 Woodward Avenue. Come to the studio and suck my balls. Suck my balls.
Don't do that.
Choke on them, whatever you want to do with them.
Don't do it, Night Owl.
Do me a favor, 34915 Woodward Ave, buddy. Suck on them.
You're inviting him over? That's
7
nice
and
of you.
10 going into the season. That was the number. Suck on them. And do me a favor. Head down to Allen Park while you're at it and choke on your head coach's cock, too.
Okay, well, hold on.
We'll be right back.
You don't have to do
but
that.
Before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about a defense that's always productive, and that's Guardian Alarm. Guys, winter is approaching, and you're going to be spending time inside. So, you need good protection on the outside. Guardian Alarm will give you peace of mind while you're inside, staying away from that snow. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
For New Zealand, buds.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
All right, you want to win front row tickets to Detroit versus Green Bay? Well, I'll tell you how to do it. Go to Allen Park and choke on Dan Campbell, or you just submit a video.
I think that's the easier
of
option.
you doing your best Dan Campbell impression. Submit it on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok using hashtag Woodward Front Row. And the rest is history. That's how you qualify. We'll give away 3 pairs of front row tickets. We'll be selecting 3 winners on the 4th, so make sure you submit your video before then, the 4th being November 4th. Submit your entries. Can't wait to see them. We'll play them back on the show coming up over the next few weeks. It's going to be fun.
Man.
Having said that, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Bob?
Hey, are you being Dan Campbell for Halloween, by the way? Halloween's Monday, by the way. You being Dan Campbell for Halloween?
Yeah, I'll be Dan Campbell.
Okay. I thought we were doing the... You confuse me.
What is it?
You said yesterday we were being each other.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah,
okay.
Trying to have fun with it. We'll see.
It would be much funnier if Adam was Dan Campbell. And you came
Maybe
in,
I'll dress up as Sheila Hamp.
Imagine Adam right now. Close your eyes. Coming in on a Monday, Lions lose or win, and you're dressed like Dan Campbell.
I think I'm going to dress up as Sheila.
Do not do that.
Maybe Brad Holmes.
Do not do that.
Maybe Dan Campbell.
What is even a Brad Holmes costume?
I don't know. Like, just a jumpsuit or something.
I mean,
oh, good.
It'd be funny. It would be funny. Enough Lions discussion right now. Focus on this big game this weekend.
Oh yeah, Michigan State coming up this weekend.
Under the floodlights, prime time.
You guys know how I feel about it. I do believe Michigan State will lose, but that's why we have Owen on here today. Owen, thank you for joining us this morning. Owen is the Michigan State beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network. Owen, good morning, buddy.
And he's packing heat too. What up, Owen?
Morning. How are you guys doing?
I'm alive. You know, just telling people to choke on my nuts. Nothing out of the usual on a Thursday.
Nothing's changed over there, apparently.
I would not advise anybody to do that.
Hope you're doing well up in East Lansing, buddy. Walk me through Saturday's game. I want you to walk me through the scenario where you see Michigan State pulling it out, because I thought long and hard about this. And the only way I could ever see it is if Michigan throw themselves out of the game, meaning J.J. McCarthy drops back, and he throws 3 interceptions. They come out of the gate and they get a pick 6 or a fumble on the first drive, and they put up 7 on the board. It has to be something so quick and fast that Michigan are caught off guard and aren't able to respond. But if you look at it talent for talent, Michigan are more dominant. They got the better players. In my opinion, the better coach. How are Michigan State going to win? Because I don't see it.
I mean, Michigan State, obviously not the better team. Michigan is. They're bigger, better, stronger. But we've seen it before.
Yeah, that was last year too, Owen.
I mean, to an extent, yes. And obviously Kenneth Walker, currently killing in the NFL as well.
Yeah.
He was there in East Lansing. But I think for Michigan State, you have to stop the run. Because, like you said, that was a perfect scenario, Adam. Blake Corum has been fantastic, and so is Donovan Edwards. You have to stop that duo. That's critical. So if you shut them down, then you force J.J. McCarthy to throw the football. And then from there, we saw that crazy, weird interception against Penn State where it bounced off a player and then ended up being a pick 6. You need something like that. Because J.J., when he's put in that situation, which he hasn't really at all this season, because Blake Corum has been fantastic. He has not been forced to throw the football on critical downs consistently. I mean, when you got 2 running backs that can just run all over the field, that's obviously you're going to use that instead. But for Michigan State, Jacob Slade is back. Xavier Henderson is back. The team, for the most part, is going to be very healthy. That bye week was critical for Michigan State. Honestly, it was a lot better for Michigan State than it was Michigan because they are able now to regroup. They have an entire week to prep and everything like that and get healthy. But for Michigan State, Xavier Henderson being back is so critical, and Slade up the middle. Now you can actually have a chance of stopping the run. I don't think Michigan State will be able to do it, but I think it gives them a long shot. And that's all Mel Tucker and that staff needs. They also changed their defensive formation as well. They're 4-3 against Wisconsin, and they ended up winning that game. So Scotty Hazelton actually made a change on defense as the defensive coordinator, and Michigan State won their last game because of that. So, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to do it again once again against Michigan because it worked against Wisconsin. Weather looking like it's not going to rain, but, man, if it rained, that might give Michigan State a shot because last 7 games in Ann Arbor, Michigan State has won the last 5. So that's something to watch out for as well. But halftime, it's got to be close. I mean, if it's not close at halftime, you just come out of the locker room defeated, and there's no shot of it being a comeback like last year. Like, Michigan will bury you this year. But for Michigan State, it's going to be throwing the football. In 2020, it was Ricky White. He had a fantastic season. Well, not a fantastic season, but a fantastic game against Michigan State, and just kind of fell off from there. And then Kenneth Walker, of course, he had a fantastic season, 5 touchdowns against Michigan. If somebody's going to be having a great game this year, I would think it's Keon Coleman, because Keon Coleman is a fantastic player. I've been preaching about him preseason all the way through this season. It's going to be him that's going to ball out if Michigan State's going to win.
Oh, and another question, too, because you kind of brought it up already, but Xavier Henderson, and this is a guy that I think, talking about the bye week for both teams, Michigan and Michigan State, I personally think the bye week benefits you guys the most, allowing some guys to get back healthy, but you dove into it a little bit, but what does having Xavier back this week mean for this struggling secondary already? Because last year, Cade McNamara threw for 384 yards on you guys, and now you have J.J. McCarthy in, who we all think is a better quarterback, but for you, how important is that secondary this week to be able to make plays?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, Xavier Henderson, for one, fantastic leader. Like, this kid, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. There's a reason why they wanted to get him back as soon as possible, because he is that kind of player.
Right.
There's a big reason why he came back as well, because he's that big of a leader out there in the secondary. He can actually make plays as well. Like, you know, they've had young guys slide in at safety to replace him, but it hasn't been the same. Xavier Henderson could possibly have an interception against J.J. McCarthy if that opportunity arises. Like I said, you have to stop the run first, though. But for Michigan State, get off the field on 3rd down. Xavier Henderson really helps that out, because the Spartan defense has not been able to get off the field on 3rd down. Now that opens up the opportunity with having Slade and Xavier Henderson back. I don't expect Petrowski to be back, but I think the rest of the team will be healthy. So that's a good sign for Michigan State, and it opens up the possibility. All you need is a long shot, because that's all this team's hoping for. You have to play your best game, and Michigan to help you out and not play their best. So that's all that kind of combination coming together. Xavier Henderson really helps that out. And obviously, first game back, it's a win for Michigan State against Wisconsin with him coming back. So that was big time for MSU.
And obviously with Mel Tucker, one thing we do know that he knows how to do is get his guys ready to play against Michigan. And what's been the theme this week for Mel Tucker? What's been something he's been preaching about the most for this team? Is it stopping the run? Is it getting takeaways? What has been Mel Tucker's something that he's hammering this week that the players need to do to be able to find some success this weekend against Michigan?
Yeah, no, it is totally takeaways, because Michigan has only, I don't think they've turned it over twice in a game. I might be wrong on that, but it's all about getting takeaways. This Michigan State defense has not done that until Wisconsin. And there was an opportunity in the end zone where Chuck Brantley and Anthony Gross literally ran into each other and dropped the ball. So it was like literally a game-sealing interception. Couldn't make it happen. You got to have takeaways. And that's why J.J. McCarthy is the one guy on the field that could have takeaways. I mean, he's been fantastic, but you're not going to see Blake Corum fumble. You're not going to see Donovan Edwards fumble. It's going to come from J.J. McCarthy. So you have to force him in a big game like this at night. It's going to be a blowout, which that will be interesting. I don't really know why Michigan would kind of do that, because they just had the maze out, so they're just kind of making stuff up at this point. But
God, Owen, it's done, man. Stop it. Just stop. Stop. 57-14.
Oh my gosh.
Just stop.
Owen, where are you on this? Because I tried talking to Adam about this. I personally think it'll be closer than people think. I still have Michigan winning.
He's just a pessimistic bum.
For people that say that Michigan State has no shot, I think is ridiculous. But what is your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on it, Owen?
I think they have a shot. It's just a long shot.
Long shot. I think I have a shot at being a woman by the end of the day, but it's a long shot, so.
Well, it's a long day. Every day is a new day, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, and I love your optimism. I'm not going to lie to you. I love it. Appreciate your energy. Thank you so much this morning. We'll have you on. We got to have you on Monday or Tuesday next week and get a recap.
Yes.
Definitely Monday if Michigan State win, but I doubt it. Michigan 50-plus points. Michigan State, maybe if they're lucky, 17. Have a good one, Owen.
You too, guys.
See you, Owen. Take care, dude.
Balls.
When we get back, I want to wrap up a few conversations about Aidan Hutchinson, the Lions, Sheila Ford Hamp, the whole conversation, everything that unfolded yesterday. And then we'll get to Mailbag at 9:50. So everybody in the Woodward Sports chat at 9:50, start dropping your questions, and Jeff and I will answer them. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Well, for a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim, the chili cheeseburger, as well as the bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries, too? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. They got it all. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
The biggest rivalry in the state is almost here. That means one thing, the biggest tailgate party in the state. Join Woodward Sports for our tailgate takeover before the U of M versus State game on October 29th. Will Harbaugh and the boys pull out the win? Or is Tuck still coming? We will find out at the Big House. Michigan legend Braylon Edwards will be handing out food, prizes, and much more. So no matter what team you root for, come party with the network that does it best. The Woodward Sports Network. The tailgate takeover, powered by Custom Health Centers, Syntron, and Planet Fitness.
Woodward Sports, you see the name!
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because, guys, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, the designer skin, Kel-Tan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Tell them, Fish.
Interesting stat coming out this morning from Mike Renner over at PFF. Aidan Hutchinson's pass rushing grade by stance with the Detroit Lions. In a three-point stance, he has a 57.4 rating, and that was over 177 snaps. In his two-point stance, he has an 86.3 rating.
What have we been saying? I've been saying that for weeks.
I understand. Not only you, Michigan fans were bringing this to the table, social media. Everybody was very vocal about this, and the Lions have their reasons, as always. But the reality is Aidan Hutchinson is looking really good. I believe he leads the league, or tied for the league high in terms of rookies with pressures, leading all rookies in sacks with 4.5. He is a guy who is on pace to have 11 sacks this season.
Right.
Nothing short of impressive. He is, so far, especially after last week, you saw him in his most comfortable position.
Right.
And he shined. And that's promising, because had he gone out there against Dallas in a three-point stance and struggled,
against the rookie left tackle,
you would have looked at yourself and came on the show on Monday and said, oh, we might have a problem, Houston. Technically Detroit. Seriously. But that wasn't the case, and that's a very good sign. So we talked about why it was so important to draft cocaine. I know you guys all love that word. Well, the cocaine was always just draft an edge rusher. It didn't matter if it was Thibodeau or anybody. Get an edge rusher. Get after the opposing team's quarterbacks. It'll help you win football games. And Aidan Hutchinson on third downs helped you get off the field multiple times. Not just the 1.5 sacks he got on those two plays. Forcing Dak to throw early, move out of the pocket, and have him step up and get uncomfortable. It was good to see Aidan being disruptive. So that was the major win for me from last week, was the edge rusher's looking promising. I don't have to lose sleep over him. Concerned about Jameson Williams returning in a month. I wouldn't say concerned. I'm not a fan of rushing players off ACL or Achilles injuries. You look at Cam Akers, looks like he lost a step. If they're not ready, they're not ready. There's no point. The last thing you need is him having a setback and then having to restart this process all over again, where now you're talking about him being a bust. You drafted him knowing you weren't going to get him for the first half, maybe 2/3 of the season.
Yeah,
you knew that already.
Year. Yeah.
So I'm not too caught up in the Jameson Williams drama.
And another thing to add to Aidan's success is, you notice how Josh Pascal came back. His first game back, Aidan plays better, and I think physical, he is, especially at the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is a guy in his first NFL game, played a lot of snaps. Aleem McNeil talked about in his press conference, like Aleem liked what he saw playing alongside him. But I think the more important takeaway, and I got to give credit to Dan Campbell and AG for that, for making that adjustment with Aidan Hutchinson, because it was needed. And the reason why they can do that and they can put him in a 2-point stance is you have Josh Pascal. Without Josh Pascal, you kind of do need Aidan in that 3-point stance, because he's probably your best, if not one of your best run defenders. So having him in that 2-point stance kind of hurts that. But having Josh Pascal gives you an opportunity to do that. So again, it's nice to have Josh back. The defense and AG, they did respond. We talked about AG for the last couple weeks. But the fact that we saw what we saw on Sunday does give me a little more confidence that there can be adjustments. Now, how do you follow that up for the rest of the season? That's yet to be determined. But you got to give credit. Aidan, although you like him to be a little more consistent, I mean, the 2 games he's had a sack. He's had 3 in the first half and a sack and a half in a game. It's like he either has no sacks or he goes off completely. But to say, I love to talk to those people early a couple weeks ago that had no faith in Aidan. It's like, guys, it's 5 games, now 6 games. So Aidan's fine. It's just nice to have more talent around him with Josh Pascal back. So Got to add more talent on the defensive line. I've been saying that for weeks too. It's not all Aidan. It's who's around him as well. And if Josh is commanding double teams at times, guess what? Aidan's going to get open free. And you saw against Washington when he had 3 sacks in the half, who was playing? Charles Harris, John Kibitsky. It's not that hard, guys. When there's talent around Aidan Hutchinson, he can make a play. Now, would you like him to make a play every single time? Yes, but
that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Right.
Oh, God. I like it, Jeff. Well done. Very well said.
Yeah.
When we get back, mailbag time. Everybody in the Woodward Sports chat, drop your questions in the Woodward Sports chat over at woodwardsports.com, and we will answer them coming out of the break. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Odds Trader.
Well, let me tell you about it, guys, because tonight is Thursday night football. And if you're not betting on tonight, well, Lions play Sunday. They play Miami Dolphins. I'll be down there. But not only will I be down there, I'll be betting with Odds Trader because it's the #1 site for your game day bets. They have play-by-play updates, live scores, the best price for multiple games on multiple different, like, for example, I'll give you an example. The difference between Odds Trader and any other app is I like conveniency. I like going on Odds Trader. Everything's right in front of me. I have, you can use FanDuel, you can use all these different apps, but if you use Odds Trader, it's right there. It's easy. And that's what I like about Odds Trader. So please go to oddstrader.com right now and find out your best bet.
Woodward Sports is giving you another chance to sit front row, this time at the Detroit versus Green Bay game. Think you have the best Dan Campbell impression?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Can you say man with the best of them?
I got it. Here's what I need, man. I need you to trust me. I swear to God, I'm not a lunatic. I swear to you.
Can you say, let's go for it on 4th down?
Man, I got a plan, I swear to you. All I think about is you guys. That's all I think about, man.
Are you a master motivator?
That's all I think about is you guys.
Show us in a video. Record your best Dan Campbell impression and post the video on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Woodward Front Row. We'll select the best 3 impersonations of Motor City Dan Campbell and send you and a guest front row. So knock the dust off the old sweatpants, light some kneecaps, and enter today. And as always, go Lions, man.
I just need you to trust me. That's all. Please.
I don't care if I got 1 toe, 2 butt cheeks, and a rock.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, you've got a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It is very rewarding, but comes with great responsibility. If you sit on local youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, the parents, and the volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you to everybody tuning in over at woodwardsports.com. We'll go to the Woodward Sports chat. Would you say that Hutch is a great pick if, in 2-point stance, he has another good game against Miami?
Well, I'm different. I think Hutch is a good pick regardless.
I think he's a
I don't think it's he's determined if he can have success in a 2-point stance. I think eventually he'll have success at both. But right now he's more comfortable in a 2-point stance. That's just what it is. We'll see. It's too early to say this or that. I'm fine with Hutch so far through 6 games. It's way too early.
Fair enough. Adam, will you admit you were wrong if Michigan State wins? I would love to be wrong, Jesse. You have no idea. Deep down, I am dying.
Can I give you my theory on your opinion about that?
Yeah, go for it.
Are you saying Michigan...
It's a win-win for me, by the way.
I know it is. But you know what else is a win-win?
I can't lose.
You know what else is a win-win? You saying they're going to get crushed. You keep echoing they're going to get crushed. But guess what? That sets you up to say if they play close or they... let's just say, really. God forbid, they win.
They lose, all right? Either you win or lose. That's how you get the bragging rights, so... The reality is Michigan have every advantage in this football game.
Yeah,
they should win.
They do.
No doubts.
Yeah.
Jeff and Adam will playing amazing. Excuse me. If we trade him, what's the best we could get for him? Jeff, what do you think?
First round pick, no question. A guy who's
You're
giving
talking a late first round pick.
Yeah, a contender reaching out, giving you their first. Because if you look at Beydoun guys, I mean, if he's giving a contender, obviously with the Pistons it's different. He's getting more opportunities, but if he can give you 18 points, 19 points, and he's shooting 5, 4, 5, 6 threes a game, I'm telling you right now, any contender would love that. And he's on a 1-year deal, so if they trade him, you can get a first round pick, I believe. But if you don't, we'll see what he wants, because I don't mind extending him.
Jeff, who gets more wins this year, the Lakers or the Pistons?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Lakers look terrible. I think eventually it's going to be the Lakers, but they're going to be... I mean, the Lakers might miss out.
You know why they lost last night?
Well, they didn't have Russell, so
That's why. They're a much better team with Russell Westbrook. I think we all know this.
Yeah, it's so bad in LA,
100%.
man.
They lost by, 20 points last night? They would have lost by 40 if Westbrook was there. So
Rob Pelinka needs to be held accountable for how they constructed that roster.
Nobody gets held accountable in LA.
So bad. Yeah, you're right about that.
I would hate to talk sports in LA.
It's a big kumbaya over there with the Lakers.
Have y'all ever considered that Dan Campbell could just be that filler coach to get us into that next step, similar to Mike Singletary with San Fran?
I don't...
Okay, hear me out.
Give your opinion on it, yeah.
Hear me out. Before the Giants ever had Dable, they had to deal with Shermer and Joe Judge, Pat Shermer. Before the Lions... And if you want to say Jim Caldwell was a success, excuse me, then I'll give you this example. They had Marinelli and then Schwartz, and then it got to Caldwell. Before Kyle Shanahan, it was Singletary and another dude, I forget his name, I apologize. And then you look at, who's a recent example? Even the Rams. They had Jeff Fisher, and prior to him, I forget the old dude, weird hair. Regardless, whatever his name is. Before Andy Reid, you had Spagnuolo. There are many examples of teams making the wrong decision and hiring the wrong guy.
But you wouldn't call it
following it up. But it's not. There's no such thing as a bridge head coach.
I don't think so.
There's no such thing as a bridge head coach. Excuse me. Wow, I'm dying over here. Either Dan Campbell will work out or he won't.
Right.
And nobody hires a head coach thinking, I'll just let him suck for 2 years, and then I'll really make the right decision this time. That's how it works.
Right.
You're trying to hit a home run every time you hire a head coach. And when you fail, you pay for it. There's no such thing as a bridge head coach in the NFL.
Even the Pistons. I mean, you bring on Dwayne Casey. It's not like they brought him in saying, you know what, Dwayne's a bridge. Like, he's a former Coach of the Year winner. He's a guy who's taken the Raptors deep in the playoffs multiple times. Like, you don't hire guys based on being a bridge. Like, if Mark Jackson won a lot more games, I don't think he'd still be coaching. So again, you could look at Mark Jackson and say he was a bridge, but that's not predetermined when he's there. In my opinion, I think that just kind of happens. So Dan should be the guy, but we'll see. Mailbag: how bad will Florida lose to Georgia on Saturday? Anthony Richardson. He
should go number 2 to the Lions. So should Malik Willis.
That conversation always frustrated me.
Man, Malik Willis looked good on Sunday for the Titans, though. Came right into the game and fumbled. My God, what a stud. What an absolute stud.
I knew that was
God,
coming.
The Lions are going to regret not taking him number 2 overall.
It took you till Thursday to bring it up. I'm proud of you.
God, how will the Lions ever?
But Adham, you should have taken him over Kirby Joseph, who just almost had a pick along with a fumble on Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation.
No, Malik Willis is the best quarterback out of this draft class. Best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Lions should have drafted him over Aidan Hutchinson. Aidan Hutchinson sucks. What a disappointment.
I like this. Patty Grimes, WoolworthSports.com. Jeff, who wins another game first, the Lions or the Pistons? It's going to be Pistons. Obviously, they play more, but I like where you're going, Patty, because it ain't looking bright for either one so far to start. But a little more leeway with the Pistons, I'll tell you that. Mailbag: what will be the Lions' record next year with a rookie quarterback? I got to see how this season finishes out. I think personally, it's hard to make predeterminations about next year. If they can catch up and win 6 games,
I would just like to be alive for next year. That's my New Year's goal.
That's ideal.
I would like to be alive for the next football season.
Yeah, you don't want to be half dead before it even hits November.
It's either dead or alive. There's no half in between. Do the Lions have a chance to win 2 more games this year? I would say yes, they do.
They can still turn. I don't want to say turn things around, but they can still win some games.
Dan Campbell can coach, they'll win games. If Dan Campbell can't coach, they'll lose games. I know. I know, what a difficult concept to understand. If you're a good guy, you do good things. If you're a bad guy, you do bad things. How simple life can be.
Are you singing to us?
Shut the hell up, Fish.
What about this one? Emerald Eyes asks, flex, Zeke Elliott or Brian Robertson? Half PPR. What do you think?
Robinson. I just hate the idea of Zeke splitting carries with Tony Pollard any given moment.
But with Brian, I mean, I have Gibson, and I'm not saying this for selfish reasons.
Gibson did look better than Robinson,
Like
though.
a little better. And honestly,
Explosive. Let's say explosive.
Right.
Fair?
Start
All
it.
right, well, that's
Rip
it for
for a
us.
run.
We're out of here, 10 o'clock. Thank you to everybody who joined us over at woodwardsports.com. Y'all
Yes.
have a great rest of your day.
Love you guys.
You're in trouble. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Thursday Night Football.
Yes.
Should be a fun show tomorrow.
Thursday nights, Europa nights, how do you not?